everyone, welcome to the Jayda and Stitches show. Recently I had a birthday and I have some stuff. I don't usually do birthday hauls, but I got some really fun crafting supplies for my birthday, and I just thought that some of it might help inspire you for some upcoming summer crafting events. It's not all yarn, it's not even all crochet related, and if you're like me in the summer when the weather gets hot, you don't always want to be sitting under your knitting or your crochet, and for me that sometimes means I need to change up the fiber. Maybe I want to use some cooler weights or some cooler fibers like cotton. Sometimes that just means I want to shelve the crochet altogether and do something different. So I've got a little bit of everything here for you guys today. Okay, let's start with the yarn and get it out of the way. I picked up some yarn at Michael's. So Michael's was one of the stops on the birthday tour, and I picked up some more 24/7 cotton. This is the size 4 weight. I love this stuff. I love it for all kinds of different projects, but I didn't have any orange in my collection. So I picked up these two beauties. This is tangerine and this is creamsicle. And of course they are two very summery colors. And I love the cotton here for the 24/7 cotton because it's mercerized, so it's like smooth. It doesn't want to pill. It feels really good when you're working with it. And it just comes in so many pretty colors. And of course it has that nice little sheen. I am slowly adding to my 24/7 stash. I want to have every color they make and then maybe like double that. Because I like having options when I am creating. And I just really love this stuff. So I was excited to get a couple of tasty orange colors. Orange is like my favorite color. And there's just something about that creamsicle. Anyway, love those. Couple of cottons. The next ball of yarn I found was a Patons Astra. I was using this exact color in this garden wall hanging project we've been working on, and it was in my stash. I don't know how long I've had this ball in my stash, and it's a size 3 lightweight. It's acrylic, but I really like this yarn because of the color. I made a hummingbird out of it. I used some of it to do some embroidery for like little climbing ivy and stuff, and I was worried that I might have been running out, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to try and find something similar to kind of, you know, finish up little bits if necessary, because I didn't know if they actually still made this or not. I don't pay attention enough, I guess. But imagine how delighted I was when I went into Michael's and I saw they had a whole selection of Patons Astra. So I picked up this green, and they now have a name for it. It's Emerald. The ball I have is so old that it was just a die lot number, but this is their emerald color, and boy is it. And I really like that. So I was very excited to pick up another ball of that. And finally, a couple of Caron cakes, cotton Caron cakes. This one, I love this. I saw this and it immediately made me think of the beach. Hanging out by the seaside, you've got kind of a sand color, you've got some of that sort of sea mist color. I think this is actually called beach glass, and that really does look like the color of that softened beach glass that you might find on the beach. So I really like this colorway. I was thinking about maybe like a simple short-sleeved little kind of a crop top cover-up thing that I might want to toss on over top of a tank top when I just want to zip outside, and I don't really want to put on something heavy. So kind of thinking about that. So that's one. And the other one, no surprise, rainbow. I just love rainbows. I love all those rainbow colors together, but this one is really neat because it's kind of muted. It made me think of what a rainbow might look like if it had been outside on the back deck all summer long, and by late August it was starting to look a little bit sun bleached. So I really like that look. It has sort of a soft, nostalgic, sort of from summers past sort of feel to it. And it is called Calico Flowers. I really like that. So beach glass and calico flowers, a couple of Caron cotton cakes. These aren't 100% cotton. They're like 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, but they feel really nice. They're a size 4. They're nice to work with. And I made a previous cover up with one of them, a longer one. It's our summer cover up. I think that's what we call it. I'll link it down below. And that's nice to wear over a dress, over a bathing suit. It's just also kind of fun to sort of throw on in general. It looks nice with jeans too. Like I'll wear it with a tank top and a pair of skinny jeans because it's a little bit long. It's just kind of nice. It feels like you've put something on without putting on something heavy, especially when it's hot and sunny out. Okay, that's the yarn out of the way. Let's talk hooks. I have been on a hunt to find more of the Clover Amour hooks for my collection. I have tried a lot of different hooks, and I just keep coming back to the Clover Amours. They're my favorite. They're the most comfortable ergonomic hook that I have tried to date for my style of crochet. I know a lot of you agree, and I've been trying to find more of the larger sizes. So I have all the steel hook tiny hooks. I've got all of the sort of medium-sized hooks, and it's the jumbos I've been busy trying to find. Well, Mr. InStitches found 3 of them for me, and they are a size 12 millimeter in a beautiful, tasty, kind of a greeny blue, kind of a bright teal. He got me a 9 millimeter, which is a nice bright orange color, and he found me the 15 millimeter too, in a nice blue. So sort of a teal, orange, and blue. Those are some of the jumbo sizes. I think that's all of them now for me. I think I may have completed this collection. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to double check, but those were 3 that I definitely didn't have. Mr. InStitches found them for me, so now I have almost completed my Clover Amour collection. It's kind of fun to finish a collection, and it's also nice to have these options. I've used big hooks for projects before that weren't ergonomic, and because they're so big, the handle is basically the same size as the neck of the hook. And that's really not that uncomfortable, because the bigger the hook, the easier it is to hold on to. But there's just something about having that extra comfort of the grip, even if it's a really big hook, that I'm really looking forward to using. So hopefully I'll be able to do some more jumbo-sized crochet ahead, and it's also just nice to finish off a collection. Next, while we were in Michael's, and I can't state this enough, don't skip the children's crafting section. There's always something kind of neat in there, especially if you have other craft projects on the go or in the back of your mind, or maybe if you think about some of the crafts you used to do when you were a kid, and maybe you want to sort of revisit some of those, or reacquaint yourself with other crafting potential. Anyway, we've been working on a garden wall hanging, and that has got me thinking about other wall hangings. And so while we were in the kids crafting section, I love this, Creatology. What a fun name for a craft supply. I found this. It's a package of doweling. They are 30 centimeters or 12 inches long by about 1 centimeter, or like just under ½ an inch in diameter. So a nice size for doweling. There's 4 of them in a package. It's a resealable package. It's a Ziploc, which is great. So I can keep them in here if I'm only used 1 or 2. And when I'm done with all the doweling, I'm going to keep that because it's a really nice feeling bag. It's clear on one side, and I can never find Ziplocs of different shapes and sizes for all of the various reasons I might want like a resealable plastic bag. I use these a lot in crochet and crafting in general. Most of my supplies are kept in resealable bags, so I'm going to keep the bags. But there's 4 there, and I just feel like that would be the perfect little doweling for like a little mini wall hanging, and I want to make some mini wall hangings. I know some of you have been making mini wall hangings and sharing them with me at the Etsy shop. Thank you. I love it. And I want to try my hand at making some miniature ones too. They're faster to make. They take up less, yarn. They're a great summer project because they're small and they're quick and they're cute. You can highlight 1 or 2 really neat appliques, or maybe some 3-dimensional flowers or something. And you can it's just like a fast, fun little like quick fix. It's a crochet snack. And it's nice for like a small, awkward little space on the wall that kind of needs something, but you don't maybe want to put a whole framed painting there or something. Plus, you can keep changing them out. So if you have multiples of these little wall hangings, you can put one up for the spring and put one up for the summer and one for Christmas and so on. So some short dowelings. And in keeping with that, found these too, also Creatology. Again, I just love that. Another Ziploc resealing bag. These are little wooden rings. So kind of like I'm picturing little rings slid over the doweling. You can make the wall hanging to go directly onto the doweling, and that's usually what I do. That's what I'm going to be doing with the little garden wall hanging we've been working on. I'm making specific hangers for that. But I just thought it would be so cute to design a little miniature wall hanging that attached to little miniature rings that slung themselves onto a little miniature doweling. And there's 20, I think, rings in this package. So I've got 4 dowelings, 20 rings. I could do 4 wall hangings, each with 5 rings, or 5 little wall hangings, each with 4 rings. We shall see. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but they feel so nice. It was such nice looking wood, and I just thought, wow, what a great thing to have. I love this idea. Summery, very summery. So I got those. Next, Mr. InStitches found these also at Michael's, and he wanted to add them to the bag because Mr. InStitches does do some crafting now and again, and we've both been talking a lot about the kind of crafting and hobbies we did when we were in our childhood and our adolescence, and so this kind of sparked something for him. And it was a package of beads, but not just any beads, square letter beads, and they're super large. They're like the big version of those little black and white letter beads that we had when we were like kids. I know you can still get them, but these ones are super big, and they're silicone, so they've got just like a nice hard but slightly rubbery kind of feel to them, and they're large, and I think that's Comic Sans script. That's the font that they're in. And I don't know what he's got planned for them, but he wanted to get the package. They had them all white beads with black letters, and they had all black beads with white letters, but these ones just had more of that nostalgic feel for both of us. So I heartily supported picking up a package of these. They're by Bead Landing, also found at Michael's. And if he comes up with some kind of fun project for them, I'll let you know what it is. Next, you've probably seen me talk about this stuff now and again here on the channel over the last decade. Embroidery floss. I crochet with it on occasion. I definitely use it for little details on amigurumi. It's great for detailing when you're doing appliques, or for super small little kind of finer details if you're doing something like a wall hanging. And I got a huge package 20 years ago of a whole bunch of different colors, and I've been working my way through it. I use some colors more than others, and in 20 years the colors have changed. So you've got new hues and new shades, and it's just nice to get some new colors for my collection. So I'm still working through that original big bag, but I thought I'd get some more. So found this on Amazon. This is a package of like 124 skeins of embroidery floss. It's very nice. It's 100% cotton. It's the 6-ply, so you can sort of pull it apart if you need to do like cross stitch or something with it. In speaking with the hubby about some of the nostalgic hobbies and crafts that we used to do in the summer when we were kids, it got me thinking about the macrame friendship bracelets that I used to spend hours knotting. I made bracelets, I made chokers, I made tons of them, I made them wide, I made them skinny, and I realized that I think I want to make some more. I used to wear these all the time, and I really loved making them. I would work beads into them and stuff, and it's just such a fun, summery kind of project. It's mobile, I can take it with me. It's kind of fun to sit and do it at the beach. I don't always want to sit and crochet. Sometimes I need to give my hands a bit of a break or get them to do something different. So part of my thinking was I'll flesh out the floss collection. I'll have more colors for more crochet related projects down the road, but maybe I'll bust into it and make some of those old-fashioned friendship bracelets that I used to do when I was a teenager. This package also came with a package of needles, which I thought was quite nice. Unnecessary, but quite nice. And all the colors in there. I don't know if you can see them all. I haven't even opened it up yet, but they're so pretty. There's every hue and shade of the rainbow. You'd think for 124 skeins that you would get them all, and I think I did. Every single color you can imagine. So, isn't that nice? I just love that sound of packaging. And I love these packages because it's resealable. So you can open it up, you can reseal it, and you can keep everything in here nice and clean and dust-free. I still have all of my floss in the package that they came in 20 years ago. So I tend to keep things in their original packaging as long as I can. So that one, resealable, perfect, love it. And that's not the only reason I got all this floss. I got myself one of these. This is a speed weave, or a speed weave loom. They come in 3 different sizes so far, I've found. They're all the same sort of relative size, but the spacing between the needles and the number of hooks or needles, as you can see there, changes. So the smallest is 10 hooks, that's what I got here. Then there's 14 and then 28. Now, the more hooks, the closer together, the better for use with threads, flosses, stuff like that. The small ones, fewer hooks, further apart, this is better for yarn. So I was thinking it might be kind of fun to experiment with darning or repairing holes in crochet or knitting. You can repair holes in, you know, sock weight yarn, socks, stuff like that with the smaller weaving looms. But I thought that this one might be better for use with thicker weight yarns, like a size 4, the medium size yarns that I usually use for things. Now, I don't have any blankets with holes in them, but holes do appear in blankets, and I just thought it might be kind of fun to, you know, it's sort of like jazz. If you play a wrong note loud enough, that's like jazz music. I had a jazz instructor tell me that once, so I'm not casting any aspersions on anybody who plays jazz music. But you know, you play a wrong note with enough oomph and it sounds like you meant it. Same thing with repairs. If you've got a hole and you've done everything you can to close it up or stop it from running or getting bigger and it just doesn't look very nice, then you may as well make a point out of it. Cover that hole with a pretty weaving, darning, basically it's weaving. Cover it with some weaving and make it look pretty. Make a point out of it, sort of draw attention to it. This has now become part of the piece of art. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there is a Japanese art form where if you break a piece of porcelain or pottery, you glue it all back together and you kind of paint all the edges with gold. And that cracking becomes part of the beauty of that piece of work. It's almost like adding to its story. I love that, and I want to take that and put it into crochet and knit articles. A blanket, it's used, it's been loved, something happened to it, something got spilled on it, something, you know, a hole developed in it somehow. Why? Well, there's a story behind why that happened. It could be mundane, it could be funny, it could be sad, it could be a lot of things. But I think repairing that hole in a very obvious way is pretty, and it also kind of adds to the story of the article. And in a lot of cases, sad as it is, a lot of these articles outlive us. They become heirlooms. Somebody else inherits them. And I think it's really neat when these things have a story. I have pieces of furniture with damage that was incurred before I was even born, and I know the stories of why that damage is there, and it just kind of adds to the history of the article. Why not for things like our crochet blankets and our knit stuff too? So that's the plan for this little guy. I'm going to give Speed Weave a looming a try, and I'll let you know how it works out for me. That's another little summer thing I've got in mind. And one last thing. It's not crafting related, but it is fun related, and it's something that I've talked about on and off here over the years on the channel. Mr. InStitches surprised me with a physical copy of probably my most favorite game of all time. This is Stardew Valley, and if you are a gamer and you've never played it, you must play it. It's the best cozy game ever. And if you're not a gamer, but you know somebody who's into gaming and they've never heard of it, then you might want to pass that along too. It's just such a sweet game. I have the digital version of this on a few different platforms, but I never had the physical copy, and I feel like when you love something this much, it's almost like a book. You kind of want to have a physical copy of it. And if you look at the animation or the little drawings on the cover of this, it is just so cute. That's not what the game looks like, but I just love the drawing that they did on the front of this. It is just so charming and adorable. Anyway, that was a little surprise gift for me from the mister, and I love it. And I know some of you love this game too, so I had to share. Anyway, that is what I got for my birthday this year. I hope you found some things there that maybe inspired you to try something a little different or try something adjacent to crochet. I would love to know in the comments section down below if there is an old hobby, an old craft, something from your deep childhood or your deep adolescence that you remember fondly, maybe you want to try again, maybe you want to pull it all out of the back of the closet, you know, bring it to sunlight and maybe sort of try it again, or maybe finish something that you started a long time ago. What's the oldest unfinished project in your craft closet? I'm curious. And is there something you'd like to do if you had any of this stuff? Is there something you would try? Is there something, have you tried using a speed weave? I'd love to know how you made out. What do you like to do with embroidery floss? Any of these things. If you've got ideas for any of the little goodies that I picked up or received, I'd love to hear those as well. The summer's here. It's time to try some new things. The days are longer, so technically there's more time for crafting. That's how I'm going to look at it anyway. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you again here real soon on the Jayda and Stitches show. Until then, stay safe, stay crafty, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
Hi, everybody. Mr. InStitches here. Thank you for watching today. Here are some of our other videos you might be interested in. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.